Hey guys, Arthur Gluzman here, Global Career Advisors, International Career Coach and Business Coach. Wanted to talk to you today and explain a little better for those of you that I've chatted with already and future job search professionals about how to land your dream job in 8 simple steps. So, a little bit about me. I graduated Michigan State University in 1993 with my degree in accounting and actually landed my first role with KPMG Pete Marwood back then by contacting directly the partners at all of the big four firms, or back then I think it was still the big six or five, and most of them responded. I was actually working on a research project in my senior year, but through that networking and connections, I was able to land my first role, actually my dream role, in public accounting with KPMG, and was with KPMG for about 2.5 years. Went into the recruiting world because a friend of mine referred me to a recruiting firm. Back then it was called Source Finance. Today it's known as K-Force. And I was there for about a year and a half. Never really enjoyed recruiting, or at least I didn't think I enjoyed it. And then a candidate of mine referred me to a small firm where I landed with them. And in the first 6 months, I billed $250,000 in sales. And keep in mind, this was the age of when email was just being utilized. We had beepers, cell phones, and of course, a desk phone. And so the phone became my best friend. And so in 1998, I went off on my own. I started Global Recruiters. And 10 years later, I added Global Career Advisors, bringing together recruiting and coaching into the same portfolio. During my recruiting and even today career, I obviously learned a number of different things, a number of different tricks, secrets, and that is what my 8-step program has been built on. And so if you feel you're underpaid, undervalued, underemployed, believe me, I've seen this thousands and thousands of times. And so if you feel stuck doing the same job in the same environment, feeling undervalued, overlooked in your career growth, unappreciated, unrecognized, if you feel underpaid, then this program is for you. Now imagine, I'd like to ask you something. Can you see yourself in 6 months, even a year from now, in the same situation? Do you think about a different scenario? Do you think you can grow in the next 6 months or get promoted? What impact would it have on your personal, professional, and business life? What if you were to be recognized or awarded for all of your efforts? Would you feel absolutely happy and valued as an employee, as a person, as a human being? So I want to ask you, what's really holding you back? If your answers to my questions are making you feel uncomfortable or a bit desperate, we need to dig deeper. Why are you still here? Have you tried to move with unsatisfactory results? Are you applying to thousands of job postings? I've talked to 2 professionals today. One's been looking for a year. The other one's been looking for 6 months. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. There's 6.6 million open positions in the United States today. This is the first time in U.S. history. You can look all this stuff up, by the way, too. Just Google it. This is the first time in U.S. history that there are more job openings than professionals to fill these roles. So allow me to understand and get to know you personally and professionally. Let me take an in-depth look at your entirety so that together we can find clarity on what it is that you want and what your true market value is in your industry or other industries. Let's find your passion for life and put you where you belong. So let me show you how to select, create, and identify where you will find the best opportunities. Let me show you what you need to do to make your dream job a reality. So I have the answer. It's one thing to work in your field, but do you really know your true worth? Where does your passion and strengths lie? Where's the market rate for someone with your experience? Do you know your real passions or where you see yourself? Yes, I know. For most of my clients, it's a daunting task at first. Where do you start? How does it all fit together? How does one do it? Well, there's one word. It's called strategy. And second is relax, because I've got your back. I've figured it out many, many years ago. I will take the guesswork out of what you need to do and lead you through the step-by-step process. Every single client that I work with, it's one-on-one. There's no VA, there's no assistant, there's no mini Arthur. What you see here is what you get. And so 10 years ago, I created the 8 steps to land your dream job. And where it all starts, just like when you go to a doctor for the first time or once a year for your physical, is your career physical. Now, why do I call it a physical? Because when I'm working with you, I get to know you as a person. And we start with your childhood. What did you like to do when you were a kid? What sports or activities were you involved in? This process allows us to uncover your true superpowers, your passions. And as you've grown in your professional life, in your career, what companies have you worked at? What have you really done at those companies? And so just like when you visit a doctor and he checks everything and your blood and everything else, he comes back with a report. Hopefully everything is fine. But if everything is not fine, then there are prescriptions that you need to take. And so step 2, when we work with our clients, it is to create not 1, not 2, but 3 resumes. Why do I select 3 resumes? Because every one of us is positioned to do a number of different things within our field. So, for example, if you've been an accountant, an auditor, a financial analyst, and you're targeting all of those or variations of those types of roles or titles, then your resume in today's day and age needs to speak clearly and concisely to that role. So not only does the HR manager need to understand what your resume is, but more importantly, the decision maker, the hiring manager. And so step 2 is the creation of your resume. And once again, I'm the one that's working with you one-on-one. Step 3 is igniting your social presence. Now, what does that mean? That does not mean that we take your resume, copy and paste what you've done, and create your LinkedIn profile. There's a lot of different variables, especially for those individuals that are currently not working. You can leverage and utilize your social media presence in step number 3 to a very high degree by not only talking about your value, but you can write blogs, you can write an article, you can post a video. You need to establish yourself as an expert. Step 4 is one of the key ingredients to our job search strategy, and this is the following. When I work with you, we identify 3 to 5 industries, not only that you're interested in, but industries that you're passionate about. Once we understand what we're targeting, then it's very easy for us to compile a list of 25 companies in each industry and identify the hiring managers. This right here, my friends, is the game changer. How powerful would it be if you had a list of 75 companies that you're targeting, up to 225 decision makers, hiring managers? Yes, that's right. You heard me correctly. 225 human beings that are currently working at these organizations that you will be directly working with and or reporting to. And so just to give you a peek of what this looks like, this is a systems engineer professional that we're currently working with, David. He's making tremendous progress in his job search, only being 3-4 weeks into it. As you can tell, we have company names, the hiring managers. If you notice on this list here, there are no HR people. No offense to HR, but our objective is to get to the decision maker, their work email address, and their LinkedIn profile. This, my friends, here is the game changer. Now, before you start reaching out to these individuals, it's very important, and most people don't do this, which is, I'm going to jump a little bit, one of the biggest reasons why they fail in the interview process is they don't know the company. They don't know the decision makers. They don't know the value, the mission, the vision of the organization. And so we do all of this with you. This is what I coach and train my clients on. Step number 5, getting out there. Now, what does that mean? That doesn't mean that you're going to literally walk the streets and get out there. You're going to network human to human. Now, what does that mean? I have created a customized sequence of messages that you will be utilizing when you are reaching out to these decision makers on social media. Whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's sending them an email, everything is already done for you. You just have to implement the strategy. Just like when you hire a coach for your children, for tennis, for basketball, for hockey, whatever it is, where you hire a coach to help you lose weight and eat better in the gym. We hire so many coaches, but it is amazing to me that people have such significant reservations about hiring a career coach. And I'm not just a regular career coach that's read a book, went to a training, got certified, and bam, here I am preaching career coaching. No, I do this every single day as a recruiter and as a career coach, which is why my clients have a 90% plus success rate in finding opportunities. Keep this in mind, opportunities that are not advertised. 70% of job opportunities are not posted. The only individuals that know of these opportunities months before they get posted online are the decision makers, which is why it's so key to reach out to these individuals. I built my recruiting business reaching out to decision makers and marketing candidates that I believed in, that I knew had value, and that I knew these organizations and the hiring managers are looking for these individuals. In step number 6, the proposition. Keep in mind, you have to look at yourself as a product. And so everything that we create around you, it's all about branding, marketing, having your sales pitch, your value proposition down. I'm not a big advocate of cover letters. There's a certain way and a proper way and a way that is going to appeal to the decision maker when you reach out to them. Step number 7, another key ingredient or key part of my 8-step process is the interview. This is my sweet spot. I will spend whatever time is necessary to coach my clients to make sure that they're going to kick butt in that interview. Get it right the first time. Present your image in alignment with the company's values. Remember, once again, you're a product that can perform a function and solve problems. Know your value and be able to communicate it clearly. One of the reasons that a lot of people get nervous or they're anxious or they don't know what to say or they lose their train of thought in the interview is because they haven't gone through all of these steps, especially step number 1, which is the career physical. When you truly understand who you are, what your passion is, what your strengths are, You are now in a much better position to be able to communicate that properly, especially using the STAR formula to be able to communicate your accomplishments and challenges. What are companies looking for? They're ultimately buying you, right, to perform all sorts of different tasks and functions. Some are more mundane than others, but at the end of the day, there's a purpose, right? And your objective as a job search or career professional is to provide value. How are you going to solve problems? How are you going to improve efficiencies? How are you going to reduce costs? All sorts of different things that you need to be thinking about in the interview and prior to the interview. And of course, step number 8, my favorite, is sealing the deal. Too often, a lot of professionals, they get so excited because they've been looking for a job and they get an offer and they take that offer. Okay, well, there's a number of different things that you need to make sure that is in line with not only what the company is looking for, but what are you looking for? Because if it's not the right match, you're going to be looking for a new role 6 months to a year later. Why? Because you didn't do your homework. You didn't research the company. You didn't talk to the people that are currently working there and or have worked there. That's the beauty of LinkedIn, is you can communicate. And there's no reason why anyone should be afraid to reach out. Because what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So step number 8, I always coach my clients on making sure that this opportunity that you're about to take is going to be an advancement and a progression in your career. Obviously, job titles, base salaries, vacation, sick days, 401k, that's important. You know, a lot of people focus on the benefits of what the organization is offering, but they're not focusing on how is this going to elevate my career. So again, all of these steps I coach you on. And to make life as simple as possible is we create the strategy for you. Here, go out and reach out to all of these decision makers, hiring managers. You're going to have up to 225 human beings. It can't get any easier than that. The only thing that's involved here is your participation, your commitment, your optimism, your mindset, your clarity. So hopefully this is a good overview of the 8-step program. If you have any questions, want to book a call, or you're ready to jumpstart your job search and no longer participate in what 99% of most job seekers do, which is reply to a job post, sit, wait, and hope, post a resume online, sit, wait, and hope, reach out to their brother, friends, mother, grandparents, their entire network, and nothing happens. And by the way, let me mention this also. Only 4% of positions are with recruiters. Everything else is in different categories. Job boards, internal referrals, um, networking events. So if you're relying, sitting at home, that somehow something is going to pop up on your lap and magically it's going to work, that's not the strategy that I would advise for you. Once again, thanks for your time. This is RDG, Global Career Coach and Business Coach. Talk to you soon.